Welcome to the Express Election 22 pods. In the run-up to polling day on the 22nd of June, we'll be publishing a short statement from each of the Deputies candidates in each of the districts. This pod focuses on St.John, St.Lawrence and Trinity, where there are 4 seats available. Here are the candidates for you to choose from in alphabetical order. Hugh Raymond is also standing in this district, but he wasn't able to take part in the pods.
Hello, my name is Gregory Guida, and I am a member of the Jersey Alliance, standing in St. Lawrence, Trinity and St.John. Over this term, I actively participated in 2 ministries and 20 different panels and boards, and I am extremely proud of having been able to serve the island at that level. It has been a time of hard work, and I hope I brought a positive influence in many aspects of Jersey life. I also spent the last year defending Jersey against the country of my birth. It's quite possible the French will never give me a passport again. This government initiated dozens of generational undertakings, such as the Sports and Community Facilities Programme, the refinancing of the state's pensions, the new government offices, and a very long overdue refurbishment of our regions. We did it while assuming the additional workload of the Island Plan, the climate emergency, OneGov, and our hospital. We also launched the largest housing building campaign of Jersey's history. All this during the 2 worst crises of the post-war era, Brexit and COVID. I believe we did well, considering the circumstances, but so much remains to be done. I am asking you to please give me the opportunity to continue this thankless but absolutely necessary project for another term. You know I will not fail you.
Hello everyone, my name is Andy Howell and I'm standing as an independent candidate for Deputy for the new District 3, and I would really appreciate your vote on the 22nd of June. A bit about my career so far. I feel very fortunate to have lived in Jersey for the last 40 years. We have brought up our family here. I regard Jersey as my home. I really care about Jersey and all aspects of island life, people, environment, traditions. As a retired dentist and wife of a GP, I am passionate about making a positive change within our healthcare system, reducing bureaucracy. Our future hospital needs to be properly future-proofed and provide all the services and facilities that we need. We cannot have a situation with no proper rehabilitation facility, no step-down beds, and no bespoke mental health provision for our young people. Current plans need to be revisited. They are too expensive and have not been properly thought through. Our wonderful frontline staff need to be cherished and empowered to do their jobs. We have to be able to attract and retain them. Excellent patient care coupled with kindness and compassion has to be the number 1 priority. Ways I will make my district a better place. St. John, St. Lawrence and Trinity are really well-run parishes with hard-working constables who are doing a good job. Each of the parishes has an amazing school, 2 in the case of St. Lawrence, and very helpful staff. I will encourage community spirit for all ages, including children and youth work, and volunteering in each parish to help others. I will support the link between church and parish. It's great to get involved and have fun. There are minor issues to address, e.g. a hand grab rail at the step to make Trinity Parish Hall more accessible, bike racks in St. John, more frequent buses, a reduction of reliance on our cars. I will support a return to individual parish deputies, but for the next 4 years I am so happy to help in any way I can. I promise to represent the views of all 3 parishes in the States. The biggest problem facing Jersey at the moment is the cost of housing and the cost of living. I will do all I can to address this imbalance. If the voters support me, they will get someone who will give them a fresh start. We need new States members, and I would love to be one of them. I want to be part of a States Assembly that listens to Islanders and is open, transparent and accountable. I will work collaboratively and with integrity to make sensible and financially sound decisions, ensuring that we do not waste taxpayers' money and we live within our means. I believe everyone matters. I'm approachable, hard-working, and will value your input. I want to work for the good of Jersey. I believe that together we can put islanders at the heart of decision-making. But the only way I can make a difference is if I get elected on June the 22nd. So if you live in St. John, St. Lawrence or Trinity, please vote for me, Andy Howell. I would love to be your deputy. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Hilary Jeune, and I would love the opportunity to work for you to make Jersey a fairer, more inclusive and sustainable place to live. If elected, I will use my passion, experience and influence to make a real difference. Making a difference is what drives me, and it's why I am standing as an independent candidate. I grew up in Zion and became interested in politics through my family, who taught me about the importance of giving back to our community, of making an impact and difference for good, of getting things done with strong work ethics, and how to participate in a good debate that is respectful of everyone's opinions, especially the importance of listening. This inspired me to follow the path that I've been on for the last 20 years, working with and influencing international organisations and their member governments, including the United Nations, the World Bank and the European Union. I've worked for Oxfam and the Fair Trade Network, and now through my own business, encourage countries to reduce inequality, protect the environment and create a sustainable future. I've monitored, scrutinised and influenced the European Union's budget, how the World Bank spends its funds, as well as influenced trade, climate change, agriculture and international development policies. Giving my time locally, I'm Deputy Chair of Jersey's Young Adults Homeless charity, JAF, an advisor to the Jersey Community Foundation, elected member of St. John's Committee Rural, working on influencing the Island Plan, and editor of St. John's Parish magazine. Using this experience and knowledge, while working collaboratively and building consensus, I believe I can make an impact. Parish life enhances our community. Each has a strong, unique identity that we must support and preserve. I'm unhappy with this new electoral arrangement, but I will strive to ensure the constituency's 4 deputies and 3 constables work together to establish a space for constructive, collaborative exchanges of ideas and engage a greater number of people of all ages to strengthen and future-proof the parish systems at the heart of our communities. Policies must be values-led, evidence-based and focused on our future for our younger generation. We must address and improve the situation for housing in both the private and rental markets to stem the cost of living crisis and shortage of key workers. I'm concerned about the state of our health system and will prioritise pushing for the delivery of accessible primary health care that includes more support for just managing families and enhanced mental health provisions and the delivery of a new hospital. Protecting our environment is high on my agenda. We must do more to protect our island and play a role in achieving global goals. This includes accessing affordable, healthy food from farmers that are valued, and I will work for a diverse and inclusive society that addresses the gender pay gap, flexible working, and further adoption of the living wage. I promise to listen to you and be your voice. I'm accessible, approachable, constructive, and I will collaborate with all states members to develop impactful policies and get things done. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm John Lafondre. I'm standing for the constituency of St. John's, St. Lawrence and Trinity. I'm a chartered accountant, and it was 16 and a half years ago that I was first elected. It has been a privilege to serve as Deputy for St. Lawrence, as Senator and most recently as Chief Minister. The last few years have been unprecedented with Brexit, COVID and now the impact of Ukraine. It's taken calm, tough decision making, resilience, experience and total commitment to lead the government through this time. While some people sadly suffered loss and others still face difficulties, Jersey has emerged in a strong position. With thousands of hours spent dealing with the pandemic for 2.25 years, it was inevitable that work would slow down on other projects. Now recently, some people have said inflammatory things like, this government has been a disaster and has done nothing. Well, we protected lives, protected businesses and livelihoods, kept the schools open longer than almost anywhere else. If this was a disaster, then I wear that label with pride. If having a fantastic vaccination programme, having a hugely successful Spend Local scheme, which attracted international attention, was a disaster, then I wear that label with pride. If coming out of the worst global pandemic that certainly we have ever seen in my lifetime, in the sound financial condition we are in, with a surplus last year of £59 million and higher reserves, if that was a disaster, then I wear that label with pride. I have no time for nasty, petty politics. I try to be positive and constructive to secure a positive future for Jersey. I have been encouraged and humbled by the wide range of people who have thanked me personally for our work throughout COVID. I'm seeking re-election to continue to drive forward work already started in other areas. We have saved over £200 million that is now being used to improve areas that had not been supported for years. And there have been too many short-term, knee-jerk decisions in the past. We have implemented many long-term decisions which will, over time, see sustainable improvements in health, education, sports, culture, mental health and the arts. And actually we've increased investment into mental health by £10 million a year. There has been improvement, but we need to focus even more on access to support, delivery and outcomes. Plans in progress will deliver thousands of homes over the next few years. There is hope, but it requires continued focus and persistence. Work has started on Fort Regent, and the new tech fund will help grow the digital economy. We live in an increasingly complex and rapidly changing world. It will take experienced politicians, as well as some new faces, to grapple with these challenges, present Jersey on a global scale, and to hit the ground running. I hope you will recognise the value of my experience and consider me for one of your 4 votes. Thank you for listening.
Hello, my name's Elaine Miller and I'm an independent candidate. I've lived in Jersey since 1996 and in Trinity for over 20 years. I'm an advocate and have worked in law and financial services for 35 years. I was a director at the RBS NatWest International Group and a partner of Moore Defoe & Jeune. For the last 7 years, I was the Viscount and the first woman to be appointed to that office. My manifesto focuses on 3 areas to help the community and economy in St.John, St.Lawrence and Trinity and the island as a whole. Housing is a huge area of concern with a big impact on families and must be a priority. Whether we're looking at rental or ownership, everyone should have fair access to suitable housing. We need to look for sensible ways to increase our housing stock, a fair deal for landlords and tenants, and help to buy schemes that work for Jersey. We should also support the parishes to provide housing that works for their parishioners. Our strategies on housing, however, must be underpinned by a clear strategy on population. In health and social care, our care model has to ensure we have the right people, resources and facilities and funding to provide a high standard of care that treats people with dignity. We must now focus on building a new hospital that meets the island's needs. Lastly, business. Although we need to protect the financial services industry, the majority of businesses in Jersey employ fewer than 5 people. Small businesses are the lifeblood of every community and we must do more to support them by reducing burdensome red tape. There are lots of businesses in St. John, St. Lawrence and Trinity, including in farming. We also have historic sites like Hampton and Durham, which is world famous for its conservation work. Like others, they contribute to our visitor economy. We must help them all to thrive. Underlying all of this, I'd also like to see more transparency and more effective controls on government spending to ensure value for money with clear responsibility and accountability for management of budgets. Jersey is a great place to live for many, but I'd like to see everyone enjoying a good quality of life. I think our biggest issue right now is the cost of housing for families, young people and our key workers. That's why it's one of my priorities. We also need to work towards more sustainable transport options and reduce traffic on our roads. My previous roles have helped me develop skills that are essential for a States member. I can make sense of complex information. I can find solutions to problems and I know how to make sensible decisions. If you vote for me, you will get someone who's capable, who will get things done and who will work hard to deliver positive and effective outcomes for the 3 parishes and for the island as a whole. I believe I can make a real and immediate contribution to the States Assembly. I do hope that you will give me one of your votes. I won't let you down. Thank you.
I'm Kirsten Morell, and for the past 4 years I've been Deputy representing St. Lawrence. I'm hoping to be re-elected as an independent candidate for Deputy in District 3, representing Trinity, St.John and St. Lawrence. Over the past 4 years, I've been Scrutiny Chair and Assistant Minister. I see myself as a States member first, so whether I am in government or scrutiny, my job is to represent islanders and to speak out on your behalf. I bring common sense and no-nonsense questioning to my work. I expect to see evidence-based decision-making, and when I ask questions, I expect straightforward answers. Jersey has serious challenges ahead. There's the cost of living crisis, house prices, staff shortages for businesses. I believe I have the ideas and desire to work in a team to help solve these issues and support islanders through challenging times. For instance, in regard to the cost of living crisis, I'm proposing increasing tax thresholds. This will put more money directly in the pockets of islanders. And if the Treasury Minister isn't willing to do this, then I will bring my own proposition to ensure that this is done. I'm very concerned about the island's future. We need young islanders to see their lives can be played out here in Jersey. That means an excellent education system that starts at preschool and lasts throughout somebody's life. I've been working for the last year in the Economic Development Department, and I'd like to continue my work to diversify the economy, creating pathways for young islanders, again, so they can see their futures here. I'm suggesting lifelong learning accounts funded by 0.5% from our social security contributions to ensure we all have the skills to be in charge of our careers. I'm committed to increasing support for farmers and fishermen and continuing the work in arts, heritage and culture. I also believe Jersey needs to be more confident, that we need to gain concessions from the UK with regard to our relationship with the EU and create more commerce between us and northern France. I hope that over the past 4 years, I've been able to show that I've been a very active and committed States member, working for everybody that I represent. And I ask people in District 3 to lend me their votes.
My name is Mary Venturini, and I am one of the new independent candidates standing in Trinity, St. John and St. Lawrence, District 3. My roots go back in St. John's to the arrival of my widowed grandmother in the 1920s. My mother lived in Rozelle for the last 10 years of her life and loved the unique community there. I came back to live in St. John's about 20 years ago. Before that, I established and ran the largest English language publishing company in Rome, when I lived there with my husband, bringing up a young family. I know about doing business in a very competitive and difficult environment. The urgent problems that need solving here. I am really concerned about the whole healthcare system, which is on the verge of breakdown. Patients, nurses and doctors are suffering hardship and stress. Why isn't some of the over £800 million earmarked for the new hospital going to them? They tell you that the new hospital is world-class. It isn't. It will have fewer beds than the present hospital and many missing departments. And what about the Jersey care model? A model of muddle and inefficiency so far. We must sort this out. Housing is also in crisis, and this is affecting recruitment of staff in all sectors: healthcare, teaching, hospitality, retail, farming, and even finance. The lack of accommodation is hitting the young with families worst of all. We urgently need accurate information about the housing crisis. How much property is empty and for how long? How much of the accommodation is being bought by people who do not live here just for speculation? We need new ways to help finance first-time buyers. We also need to put climate emergency back on the agenda, with less archaic planning regulations and new incentives for renewable energy. We need better public transport, and we urgently need to find ways to persuade people to leave their cars at home. For example, we need a bus service to link all the parishes in the north, not just those in the south. This is now essential, that the 3 parishes of Trinity, St. John and St. Lawrence are linked. Communications. We must restore the trust between government and the voters, and people must have confidence that their vote really counts. Thank you for listening.
So those were the candidates in St. Lawrence, St. John and Trinity, where there are 4 seats available. Hugh Raymond is also standing in that district. So remember, polling day is Wednesday the 22nd of June, and polls open on that day at 8 o'clock in the morning. Of course, you can stay tuned on election night, that's after the polls close at 8 o'clock in the evening, to bailiwickexpress.com, or any of our social channels, of course, and we'll bring you all of the action as it happens. But for now, thanks very much for listening.